Hi, good morning children. Welcome back to new academic year. How are you? Hope all of you are very happy as you got nearly 4 months vacation, right? Are you fond of sports and games? Definitely all of you. What types of games you were engaged in these holidays? Football, cricket, basketball, and so on. All of you know, while playing football, the rules and principles that we are following is entirely different from that of cricket. Then while playing cricket, the rules and principles of cricket is entirely different from badminton, right? So, like the games, the society too have certain constitutive rules that make it entirely different from other societies. A society or a nation have certain constitutive rules that make it entirely different from other societies or nation. Let us start with the first chapter of politics, Indian Constitution. Children, all of you open the textbook, listen very well, underline the important points. At the same time, don't forget to write lecture notes. Clear? All of you open the text. So, politics, first chapter, Indian Constitution. So, we are living in a vast country, right? India, we are living, there are different communities of people are living together. So, for these people, certain rules and regulations are formulated through consensus, and now in this modern world, these consensus are available in written documents. Children, in our modern society, certain rules and regulations are formulated through consensus. What do you mean by consensus? It is a general agreement made by a group of people. It is a general agreement made by a group of people. So, these rules and regulations make a society different from another society. So, we can learn the definition of constitution. What is a constitution? A constitution is a written document. It based on certain rules and regulations for administering the nation. So, what is a constitution? A constitution is a written document. It is a written document. It is based on certain basic rules and regulations for administering the nation. all of you got the definition of constitution. A constitution is a written document based on certain rules and regulations for administering the nation. In fact, a constitution tells us what is right or what is wrong for a citizen. Clear? Or otherwise it tells us what we have to do or not. So all of you got clear idea about constitution. What is a constitution? A constitution is a written document based on certain rules and regulations for administering nation. Now let us study why do we need a constitution? Why do we need a constitution? We are living in a democracy. In democracy, we have the right to elect the leaders. So keep in mind, a democratic country like India, we have right to elect the leaders and these elected representatives. So first point, we have the right to elect our representatives. Elect our representatives. These elected representatives exercises certain powers. So, a constitution safeguard the excess powers of these elected representatives, otherwise they will lead to, or otherwise it will lead to injustice to the people. So, a constitution protects the powers of the elected representatives. Then, second reason why do we need a constitution is to ensure that the dominant group do not exercise their power on less powerful groups. So, the second reason for why do we need a constitution is to ensure that the dominant groups do not exercise their power on the less powerful group or people. The third reason why do we need a constitution is to save us from ourselves. Children, these are the three important reasons for why do we need a constitution. Which are the first reason? So, we elect our representatives. The elected representatives exercise powers. So, they do not exercise this power over. So, the constitution safeguard the powers of the elected representatives. Second one, the dominant group do not exercise their power over the less powerful groups. Third one, to save us ourselves. To explain these things why do we need constitution, it is explained very well in your textbook through storyboard. Through storyboards, real experience from your classroom, it was very well given. So, all of you have to go through it very well. Then you can understand very well what are the points that you have to keep in mind for why do we need a constitution. Children, so you got the definition of what you mean by the constitution. Then why do we need a constitution? Actually, a constitution serves us for several purposes, and at the same time how we have to live in or how the citizen should be governed, that also we will get clear idea from the constitution. Let us see the example of Nepal. Nepal, all of you Nepal, our near neighboring country. Nepal, it adopted a constitution in the year 1990. The people of Nepal struggled hard. They led movements for introducing democracy there, and in 2006, Nepal get succeeded in introducing democracy there. So you know that Nepal in already 1999, indeed it was a monarchy, and in monarchy who is exercising more powerful? The king or queen is exercising more powerful, and in 2006 they introduced there as a democracy, and they worked hard. They changed their constitution, and new constitution was introduced in Nepal based on democratical form in the year 2015. Now let us study how the constitution was framed in India. What are the reasons that led to the framing of the constitution in India? Or what are the role played by the nationalists for framing constitution in India? You know that India was under the control of British rule for about 200 years. That means from 1757 to 1947, India was under the control of British rule. These 200 years, the British introduced new rules and laws. In these rules and laws, Indians have no or little role to enact it. Whatever rules introduced by the British, India have to implement. Indians have to obey it. So, after the national movement started, all the national leaders were thinking about how the future of independent India should be. They were planning to introduce a democratic system of government in India where every sections of the society should be given equal representations. So, they had started by establishing a constituent assembly was formed in 1946. It included around 300 members from all sections of life. Who are the chief members of this Constituent Assembly? Dr. B.R. Ambedkar, B.N. Rao, Maulana Abdul Kalam Azad, Jawaharlal Nehru and Sardar Vallabhbhai Patel, etc. were the important members of this Constituent Assembly. And among this, Dr. B.R. Ambedkar was the chairman of the drafting committee of the Constituent Assembly. That is why he is known as the father of Indian Constitution. Who is known as the father of Indian Constitution? Dr. B.R. Ambedkar. Clear, children? So, we have studied about Indian Constitution, its definition. What is the definition of Indian Constitution? It is a written document based on certain rules and regulations for administering nations. So, then why do we need a constitution? Because in a democracy, we have elected representatives. These elected representatives exercise some powers. They will exercise powers that will lead to misuse of their power, that in turn will lead to injustice. So, a constitution safeguards the powers of the elected members of the parliament, and it is to ensure that dominant group does not exercise their power on less powerful groups, and third one, to save us from ourselves. Then we have discussed about the Constituent Assembly, which was formed in 1946. Around 300 members are there. Among the members, who are the important members? Dr. B.R. Ambedkar, B.N. Rao, Sardar Vallabhbhai Patel, Maulana Abdul Kalam Azad and Jawaharlal Nehru, etc. were the most prominent members of the Constituent Assembly, and Dr. B.R. Ambedkar is the chairman of the drafting committee. He is known as the father of Indian Constitution. Okay? Thank you.